In the history of sprint car racing, there are some fantastic owners. And when you look at it historically, and I love the way that we as a sport honor our owners. You know, the Weichert Memorial up at Port Royal. This weekend out in California, the Maury Williams tribute race. And man, I'll tell you what, our sport is just filled with great owners, Justin.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. And the sport wouldn't go if there weren't great owners. And you look across guys like Tony Stewart and Casey Kane and all of these guys over the years that have put teams out there and spend their own money to make this stuff happen. Without them, there would be no sport. Exactly.
And so today on the program, one of the great owners is Kevin Rudeen. That number 26 car that Cory Eliason wheels. We're going to talk with Kevin. We're going to talk about his passion. We're going to talk about the Rayce Rudeen Foundation and a whole lot more. So we look forward to it. By the way, this is Wing Nation, the podcast presented by Rydeen, by DRF Racing, and by Hercules Tires. Justin Fiedler from Dirttracker.com filling in for Erin Evernham. She's on special assignment. So Justin joins us here. And so if you're listening for Erin, you notice her voice got very deep on that. But no, Justin joins us. And Justin, we talked a little bit about this because you filled it on Tuesday, but Dirttracker.com, you got a little something for everybody on that website.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Any kind of dirt racing fan will find something at Dirttracker.com. Late models, sprint cars, modifieds, Northeast stuff. I mean, you name it, it's all on there. I've got news and podcasts, videos. There's stats and analytics on there. I've got a daily podcast. There's all kinds of stuff on there for dirt racing fans.
I'm telling you what, there is. It is a great, great site. I am in a little bit of heaven this week as we roll through here toward the end of the week because my beloved Big Block Modifieds are on their Oktoberfest and they're racing every night at Dirt Vision. I have been tuned. Oh man, I'm telling you what, it is good stuff. That is for sure. So yeah, we're going to talk with so you can check that out again. It's Dirttracker. Dirtrack, no E, R. So, I mean, look it up, bookmark it, save it, log on where podcasts are available. Like I said, I listen on Spotify is where I listen to mine on, but wherever podcasts are available, and you can get up to speed every morning with Justin with all of the latest in the dirt track news. Last weekend was a couple of big ones. We talked a lot about it with the National Open on our Tuesday show and also the CompCam Short Track Nationals, Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. Man, what a dandy they had out there at I-30 Speedway. Roger Crockett with the lead, Sam Hafertepe chasing him down, Tony Bachhoven and Ben Shelton with the call as it was heard on Flow Racing.
And now for the Rydeen death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Sam Hafertepe Jr. trying to close in on Roger Crockett and take advantage of the lap cars running right around the bottom of the racetrack in turn 4. Here they come down the front chute, nose to tail. They go to the inside, 2 lap cars ahead of your leaders, side by side for the lead.
And Hafertepe can't quite make it happen. Now he'll pull even. He edges ahead of Crockett off into 3 and 4. Who's going to lead at the halfway mark? 15 down. Who is your leader at the line? Give it to Hafertepe Jr. You've got a new leader.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Rydeen Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Rydeen.com for more information.
Pride, passion,
Performance.
we are Team Rydeen.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Wing Nation, presented by Rydeen, by DRF Racing, and by Hercules Tires. We're in the Hercules Tires studios in Concord, North Carolina. And another one of our partners is Sage Fruit, a great Washington State company. It's the Sage Fruit Hotline, and joining us on that is Sprint Car team owner Kevin Rudeen. Hello, Kevin. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, hello. Good morning.
How are things in the? I'm assuming you and with your good morning. How are things in the great state of Washington?
It's a beautiful day, beautiful, sunny, and I am in Washington. It's awesome fall weather.
Absolutely. Kevin, I kind of wanted to start out. We've seen your car. We've heard about the foundation, but I just kind of want to start at the beginning with you. Where did your passion and love for sprint car racing come from?
I just, growing up, spent a little time racing snowmobiles, motorcycles, go-karts, but then sometime in my 20s, I happened to go to a World of Outlaw show at Manzanita, and I was hooked from day one. I just fell in love with it.
What is it about sprint car racing? I know, kind of being from that Washington area, that sprint car racing isn't huge out there. I mean, you've got Skagit and some tracks, but what is it about, sprint car racing in general that drew you in?
I just think that the absolute the amount of driver input needed, just how much say the driver has in the outcome of the race.
Well, there's one thing to be an enthusiast about it, but there's another thing to own a team. The decision to get involved to that level, does that kind of just describe the passion you have for it?
I think it was just time. Over time, I started out as I just built a car and went to Skagit myself. I built a 410, had never driven one, took it on a flat deck trailer and went over there and got schooled by everybody over there, and I was hooked from that day, and it just kind of grew from there.
When did you realize that you wanted to take a step out of the seat and start putting other guys in the seat?
It was pretty early on when I was getting beat all the time. No, but also I was raising a family. I had my core business, which is real estate, and you learn pretty fast that to be really competitive, you have to drive all the time. And that's when I decided that for a while I drove, and I hired a young man out of Canada, Jimmy Carter, and he drove for us, and that he had more time to spend on the sport.
Kevin Rudeen is our guest here on the program. So, Kevin, you talked about snowmobile racing and that. Did you have competitive? Like, did you play other sports? So there's a competitive juices in your side. Yeah, is that the case?
Yeah. Junior high, high school sports, pretty much all I could, and motocross, and snowmobile racing back when they used to drive on the ice ovals, and just yeah.
When you start owning a team and you've got your family and stuff, what do those conversations look like with the wife and with the kids? Like, do the boys want to get involved in racing? Is the wife okay with all of this? Like, how do those conversations go?
Yeah, I had a lot of support. I had family support. My wife at that point was supportive. I had my two boys. They were young. They were really young at the point. They loved to go into the races. Remy, my youngest boy, he's still into high performance stuff. He does some drifting and some quarter mile drag racing and stuff. So yeah, it's just always been part of the family.
So you work through and you grow this thing and the next thing and it's just evolved. The decision to take it on the road, the decision to go with the All-Stars where you're at now. I mean, I know you used to do some 360 racing as well. How did you evolve to where your team is at now and the process getting there?
It just was over time, just evolved over time. I think it was in 2006 was the first year we ran a full season with the Outlaws. We had Shane Stewart in the car, Rookie of the Year. I think we did that 2006 and 2007. I can't remember. And then the economy in 2008 and stuff, it was harder. And then as things got better now, and we're better prepared to be out there. I just like the program with the All-Stars. Tony does a great job running the All-Stars, and that's a good format for us, and it allows us to do a lot of other we don't have to commit to 80 or 90 shows. Lets us race other events too.
When you go to decide to go run something like that full time, you hire Cory Eliason. Why a guy like Cory? What is it that you saw in him that made you want to put him in your car?
Work ethic, integrity, and he brought himself. He just wanted to be there. He started himself and raced himself to as far as he could with his finances. He just didn't give up.
When you kind of look at Cory too, kind of being from that California area and an area you're familiar with, what is it about those California drivers that, that are attractive to an owner like you?
Well, I think other than Pennsylvania, that's where we see some of the best drivers. That's a competitive state down there. A lot of different tracks, a lot of hard tracks. It's where a lot of talent comes from.
You mentioned competitive state, and you're right with California, with Pennsylvania. Earlier this week, we had Anthony Macri on our show, and just talking about the young talent. It's kind of been one of our themes here on Wing Nation. The level of competition in 410 sprint car racing these days, whether it's the All-Stars, whether it's Pennsylvania, whether it's the World of Outlaws, with that Larson guy coming in and messing up things along the way. Kevin, just can you describe how it compares, and is it at the peak, or what's your thoughts on the level of competition with sprint car racing right now?
It's in my mind, it's as competitive as it's ever been. It's as hard as it's ever been to win a race. These young guys, I just a few weeks ago got to meet Anthony Macri. What a nice young man. These guys, Gio, Cory, I mean, there's a whole list of them, but it's a crazy amount of talent out there right now. It's awesome.
With the way the year has gone, obviously, travel restrictions and all of these different things, have you gotten a chance to get out to the racetrack much? Where, and if you have, where have you gotten to go this year?
Half a dozen times or so. We did Plymouth, Wisconsin. That's where we had the Rayce Rudeen Foundation race. We did Eldora a couple of weeks when Tony had that big race. That was a nice event. We went to South Dakota, Huset's. So it was fun to see Huset's reopen. But maybe 6 or 7 races so far this year.
There's nothing like getting to the racetrack. We can watch it on Dirt Vision and Flow, and they do a great job for sure. But boy, that camaraderie being at the racetrack, Kevin, that is something that you just can't replace with any. It's just not comparable to anything.
Exactly. It's my favorite place to be. Such an amazing group of people at those races. We want to beat each other so bad on the track, but we want to help each other get out there. I mean, it's such an amazing group of people around sprint car racing.
How is it when you're an owner? Do you get nerves when your car's out on the track? Do you get nervous, or are you worried about the finishes? What is your kind of mental state? Watching your car go around the track.
Yeah, I'm still nervous. I'm nervous. I want everybody to stay healthy out there, and I want, we want to be up front. We go there to be up front every weekend, and that doesn't, in today's world, how fast everybody is, that's hard to do. So for sure, I get nervous when we're out there. Yes.
Yeah, that is fantastic. One of the other passions in your life is the Rayce Rudeen Foundation, and out of a tremendous tragedy came this foundation that is out there working on the problem with addiction, a crisis that hit you personally, hit your family. Why the foundation? Just describe the process of what you're doing in that line right now.
It just, the loss of Rayce, my son. I just felt like I had two choices. I either could give up and or do something about it. And we're doing a small part. We're learning. We're growing. Addiction, whether it's alcohol, opiates, whatever, it's so widespread. So we started, we're learning. It's just kind of like a race team. I mean, we started from the ground up, and we're growing, and we have a lot of great partnerships that we're helping, working now with local high schools, try and educate kids and help people that need treatment. It's just my way to respond to it. Instead of letting the same problem that took my son away beat me, I'm going to fight back.
Kevin, I respect that so much. On my end of it, I have a daughter who dealt with some anxiety issues, and to the extent that we had hospitalization, and we faced she's doing well now. Mine, and you're never totally out of the water. But one of the decisions was, do we hole up and keep this private, or do we share a little bit of our message? And I can just tell you from her perspective with her friend group, what she has done, the impact she has had by being open about this. And yes, I checked myself into a hospital, and yes, I got help with the anxiety. It really, really is important, and it is. So I salute you in going public with it and doing what you do, because you are impacting people. But that cannot be an easy decision.
Thank you. Those are kind words. I didn't feel like I had another choice.
Yeah.
I don't run and hide from anything, and I want people to know it affects. We're a fortunate family. I mean, we have a good business. We have a really healthy, great family around us, a lot of support, and it hit us too. I mean, it's everywhere. It's every socioeconomic group. It doesn't matter where you come from. I just didn't have a choice. Everything's black and white to me. I pretty much say what's in front of me, So.
As you promote the Rayce Rudeen Foundation race with the All-Stars at Plymouth, and you've got the stickers on the car. Everybody always talks about how sprint car racing is a big family, and how important and how nice has it been to be able to help grow that foundation with the support of sprint car racing.
I don't have the words. I mean, great people, great organization. After I lost Rayce, I didn't go out in public much for a month or two. I mean, it was really, really hard. And the first place I felt like going, the first place I felt I was comfortable, I went to a sprint car race and saw my fellow competitors, my fellow owners, everybody, but everybody was so supportive. It's kind of where I'm comfortable, is walking around the track.
Fantastic mission, that is for sure, with the Rayce Rudeen Foundation. And again, we honor you with that. And folks, you can go online and find out information about the Rayce Rudeen Foundation. And there's an area there where you can get involved and help. And these type of problems, whether they be anxiety issues, as I've been dealing with, or addiction issues that Kevin's dealt with, they're everywhere in our society. And it's an awareness thing. And it's just we're at that stage where we all need to be aware of it. So, Kevin, we really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your schedule to chat with us, to share your passion with sprint car racing and how we got here, and also to share with the foundation. But thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation. We really appreciate it.
Hey, it's my honor. I appreciate being on. Thank you for having me, and just stay healthy and stay kind to everybody out there.
Boy, great words, that's for sure. Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, thank you very much.
There we go. Kevin Rudeen joining us here. Stay healthy and stay kind. Boy, I'll tell you what, doesn't really get too much more difficult than that, does it?
Nope.
It is amazing. That is a we dealt with it, and I shared a little bit during it, and without restating that, the impact that Kevin and Rayce's memory can have, seeing it as Sierra, my daughter, talk to some of her friends and say, it's all right, you're not alone. Because I think there are the anxiety, the depression issues, and the addiction issues. It is so easy to sweep it under the carpet or say it affects other people. So, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. I find it every time Blake Anderson does the read on Flow Racing at an all-star race, I'm listening. I'm like, man, they're just as Kevin said, it's black and white, and he's confronting it. And I love that, because you don't know who's listening or who's watching there that might be dealing with some nasty junk. And it's a tough spot because it's very personal. But man, that just shows a little bit of his character that he jumps out in front of it like that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. He's such an interesting guy, I think, just in general, because you know the car, that famous blue 26. But Kevin's not a guy that you see kind of out there a lot. You don't see him in front of the camera a lot. But like the opportunity to kind of get out there and promote this cause, has kind of brought him out a little bit more. And I think sprint car racing is such a fantastic, kind of venue for him to be able to help promote the foundation and to help, aid as many people as he can, I think is a great thing.
I agree. Totally agree. So tip of the cap to Kevin and everybody at the Rayce Rudeen Foundation, and Kevin for his passion for sprint cars and putting another car out on the speedway. Plan B Sales, our friends, they were founded in 2010, and they started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, but it has grown now. Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Sam Bass Art, Brand Art, University of Racing Lines, and so much more. They have a huge inventory. They have partnerships with some of our friends here, Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and others. And right now, if you use the promo code MRN, that's MRN, you get free shipping on orders of $20 or more. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are.
We are.
We are Team Dirttracker.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
I love the history of racing and all of the sports that we have, and Ford's racing roots extend all the way back to 1901 when Henry Ford won his first and only race. Last year, Donnie Schatz brought a Ford-powered World of Outlaw sprint car across the finish line, and another win was added to the trophy case. And the winning continued this past Saturday night. Schatz and his Ford-powered sprint car won the biggest race of 2020, the Williams Grove National Open. For anyone who loves sprint car racing, those are banner days, and it's clear that the Blue Oval is back on the dirt tracks and in a big way with the new FPS 410 engine built in America for a truly American form of racing. Ford, more committed than ever to providing grassroots racing with the contemporary power it craves. When we look forward, we finally have another race out on the West Coast for the 410ers, Justin. We talk about different areas being impacted by COVID. Clobbered is the word that describes that out there. That's been unreal.
Yeah, it's a shame that, that we're not going to get a NARC King of the West champion this year. But kudos to them for getting in as many races as they can at this point and at least providing some place for some of those guys to come race.
Absolutely. The third race of the season is the Maury Williams Legends Tribute. Maury, a four-time series champion. It's only the third race of the year. There will be no fans there. Friday night, King of Thunder 410 series. Saturday night, I love this. And California, man, they ain't scared to pass some cars out there. Okay? So what they're going to do, they're going to do a twin 20s. Okay? They're going to start off with the qualifying, the heat races, all of the normal deal. They're going to run the first 20-lap feature. They're going to take a 10-minute intermission. That's all you get. And they're going to invert all of the lead lap cars and run another 20-lap feature.
I'm here for it.
I'm
Cowboy up, elbows up. Like, let's go. California, let's do this.
Yeah, and it's at Keller Auto Speedway, which is Peter Murphy's track.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. You think about this year, Peter Murphy, we had so much excitement out at Keller
for him to take
it was
over
in
there.
the hands of Peter Murphy taking over. What's he going to do? I mean, we saw what he did with the Peter Murphy Classic. He turned that into one of the cornerstone races. What's he going to do with this racetrack? What he's going to do is have races without fans, and oh my gosh, it's been unreal. But they're going to run this weekend. It'll be, I believe, on Flow Racing, and that's going to be fun to watch. Going to be fun. That second 20, and I'm telling you, I'll watch a lot of the 360 racing from Placerville, from Petaluma.
The racing from Marysville this year.
Marysville
really
on
fun
Wednesday
too.
nights.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's like I've set an alarm to wake up later in the night Wednesday to make sure I'm watching it. California elbows up racing is phenomenal.
I love it.
And they do that big inversion at the Trophy Cup that everyone talks about. We're not going to have the Trophy Cup, so this is the best we got coming up. So it is going to be epic. Fascinating stuff for sure. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars Friday and Saturday night, Port Royal. $8,000 to win on Friday night, $15,000 to win on Saturday. It's fascinating to me. This one is because the World of Outlaws for years and years did not go to Port Royal. When you look at World of Outlaw winners that are active, Donnie Schatz has 4 wins. Logan Schuchart, Brad Sweet, and Ryan Smith have wins. They're the active drivers. We have that point battle. And then a strong field with Lance Deweese, Kyle Larson, Anthony Macri, Brent Marks, Logan Wagner. This thing again, here we go. I know it's a Pennsylvania war is what we're going to have.
Well, and that racetrack, all the work that Steve O'Neill has done there here these last couple of years, I mean, that place is incredible now to see, and the fans there have a better experience with new grandstands and a new infield and all of the work they've done there. They made that place into an incredible racetrack.
And that track is just unreal. It is so. I grew up 5 Mile Point Speedway in Binghamton, New York. A little quarter-mile bull ring was my home track. Pencan was my other home track, 3rd Mile track. And we would go to like Rolling Wheels and Canandaigua, but I never cared for the big tracks. I'm a bull ring guy. But I'm telling you, a place like Port Royal, that race is like a bull ring.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like with them banging the boards all the way around. And Macri and Larson are going to be right up against the guardrail all the way around. Like, it's going to be a really fun weekend.
We had Barry Jackson on earlier on our podcast and talking to him, and he really he likes the speed that Brent Marks goes around there.
Oh, yeah.
And he likes the fact that Brent Marks parks on that stage frequently there. But Barry says it kind of takes my breath away when I see my car bouncing off the wall like that.
I don't blame him.
That's kind of old school racer. Lance was funny. We talked to Lance about it too. And Lance said, I think I could go up there, but I choose not to.
Yeah. Just stay on the bottom.
I love it. It's going to be awesome. Dirt Vision's going to have all of that. And Friday and Saturday night, the 13th annual Jim and Joanne Ford Classic at Fremont. co-sanctioned by the Fast Series with the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions. $10,000 to win on Saturday night. You got the Fremont. Nate Dussel was the champion over DJ Foose. Of course, you've got Reitzel and everybody from the All-Stars. There is something so good about the All-Stars in Northwestern Ohio, whether it be Attica or Fremont. The world is right, and they went a few years where they weren't running races at Fremont. The world is right when they're racing there, and now they're ending the season there this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's their home. It's where they kind of originated. It's where they raced for so many years, and it's nice to see them close out the season there. And I was hoping, speaking of Kevin Rudeen, hoping that we would get Eliason just a little bit closer so we could have a little bit tighter points battle, but it looks like it'll be Aaron Reitzel again, but he's been so good with the All-Stars here the last few years. It's been incredible.
Yeah, he really has. That is for sure. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour is off this week. The season finale is next week at Devil's Bowl. Regional action. The Sooner region is at Caney Valley Speedway in Kansas this weekend, so fun stuff as well. You've got a busy weekend. We talked about this on Tuesday. You are you're going to be pitting cars this weekend at Charlotte. You've got Bubba at Z-Max. You got Bubba at the Roval. And then do you have a Saturday race team that you're working on?
AJ Allmendinger.
Whoa, you're going to Victory Lane then, right? Wow.
We won it last year, so we're going back trying to win it again this year.
That is cool. Yeah. That is fun. This year, okay, and we talked about Justin with Dirttracker, but he's also a pit crew member on the Bubba Wallace team and other Xfinity and Truck Series teams. We talk about chaos in the sprint car world. Our NASCAR world has been upside down too. It's been fun getting it all done and the accomplishment, but man, you've had some weekends where you've pitted some cars over the course of a weekend.
Oh yeah, and we've had with so many of these double headers, we've had stretches where we pitted 8 races in 10 days. Which, I mean, is absolutely unheard of and something that we've absolutely never done before. It's, to literally race on Saturday, Sunday, have maybe Monday, Tuesday off, be back racing again Wednesday, have maybe Thursday off, and then be back racing Friday or Saturday has been absolutely wild. And I know that, media has talked about it a lot with the drivers, but, I mean, the crews, we're right there doing, just as much, if not, or more than those guys are doing. And to try to get yourself prepared and to be right there has been tough, but it's been fun. If you're a racer, this is what you want to do. You want to race.
Yeah, no doubt. We've talked about it as well because the Cup guys may run Saturday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday with Xfinity and trucks, which you pit, which MRN covers. There's been times where that window gets shortened up a little bit. Yeah. But it's been phenomenal. What a year. It really has been fun. So wish you the best this weekend over there.
I appreciate it. Well, thanks for having me on the show, too.
Oh, it's great. Great to hang out. I'm going to catch up with my friends, the Carolina Sprint Tour.
Oh, perfect.
Have a couple races, Carolina Speedway in Gastonia and Harris Speedway. Weather... we'll have to see what that storm is looking like. But I love my 305 guys here in the Carolinas, so going to do that as well. And good stuff. Wing Nation Apparel is available this weekend at Fremont and at wingnation.com. Follow along on all of our social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, the YouTube page. And coming up on our television program this weekend, presented by Sage Fruit, AJ Flick from Western Pennsylvania. Have you ever had him on your podcast?
I have not. I need to talk to him. Big Lernerville guy.
You do need to talk to him. I mean, that guy will fill a podcast for you.
Oh,
he's very chatty. He's great story. Third generation racer, third generation champion at Lernerville, and he is our guest. So, Justin, again, we appreciate you swinging by and hanging out with us this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Postman.
He's Justin Fiedler. I'm Steve Post. Thanks for joining us this week on Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing, and by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.